in the Athenaeum Palace of the Academy of Sciences of Geneva, Switzerland, there was a cabinet of curiosities and a library. My cabinet of curiosities is very different. There are material curiosities, atoms, crystals, elements, table of elements, molecules, springs, engines, airplanes, ships, submarines, trains, bridges, planets. There are life curiosities from DNA to brains. Human curiosities span from societies to couples. I had a dream. I looked in my information curiosities cabinet if I could find the tools to realize my dream. I looked also in my library to see if I could find some good ideas. One book seemed very promising. It seemed to contain the core of science. At the core of science there is also a brain. I checked also what I wrote with my friend Jean Thomas. I checked also some slides I made 40 years ago. This is the simulator of 40 years ago. In the brain there are loops. The concept of loop evolved during the last century. Today we have adaptive control. The modern loop can be considered a good model of the brain. Yet another book seemed very interesting. Universe, longitude, meters, latitude, meters, altitude, meters. Okay. X, Y, Z. Okay. Three different logics. Versologic, horologic with the origin, and infologic with the origin and the infinity. The three logics have different basic ideas. They all have the idea of angle. Horologic has an explicit origin, which the versologic does not have. The interiority of the cube is equivalent to the exteriority of the point. The infologic has not only an explicit origin, but also an explicit infinity, a point which is nowhere and everywhere at the same time. R1, ray 1, 1, 2, 3. Taking the deduction palette, computing the distance between 2 points, computing the angle between 2 arrows, in turns instead of degrees, mechanics, time, force, mass, time distance, divided time, speed, distance divided time. axes, units, unit volume, positive and negative universes, oriented max volume, 1 point, 2 point, line between the 2 points, plane between the arrows, plane between the arrows, interiorized plane, plane, rotation between point 1 and point 2, point 3, rotation, plane, circle 1, 2, 3, point 4, sphere 1, 2, 3, 4, exteriority of the sphere, one, two, three rotations, combination of the three rotations, other visualizations, explosion of the cube into segments, an example totally different from mechanics. Yet another book. A loop, another loop. Must, know, and want axis. Emotion is the same curiosity as mechanics. A real intersection, a virtual intersection, a simultaneous plunge into the three emotions, an interiorized step from point 6 to point 4, four dimensions, emotions, must, know, want, can. Checking the units palettes, emotions, time, stress, strain, carousel of energy, table of emotional energy, smooth green to spiky red, smooth green to spiky soft, model of a mechanical curiosity, simulation of that curiosity, hydraulical, pneumatical, thermal, mechanical, electrical, and binary emotional curiosity. Feedback loop with proportional integral controller, control towards the objective. Red, green, yellow, and gray box. So the idea of this video was to show what is an artificial science engine. I mean artificial science, not artificial intelligence, which is an old thing since 1962. And I think my way is very different. The chat alors the essential components for patents. I don't know if I can share my screen. You can find all the information. So I think we are sharing my screen now. Choose screen. Okay. Entire screen. Okay. Share. If you see my screen, if you go, there are a lot of material. If you go to the site Systematics, which is the mother site of Systar. Systar has its own site here, Systar, Artificial Science Engine. But there is the theory is in and in the examples here, you have the Patent Star report, which is 80 pages, and Patent Star is built with Systar engine. You see, this is the database. You have all the information here in this report, and a lot of examples how you can find the classes of the patents, the properties of the patents. This has been done by in collaboration with Mario Verruete, which is an expert in patents, you know. And you can have the number of patents, a lot of things. But if you want to know everything, you only have to go to see the report, which is 80 pages. But you have a lot of examples of Windows chatting with LLM and also with you can how to find molecules. You see, all that works online. You should look at the demonstration of Mario Verruete at the conference. Mario Verruete did a presentation on, it was Wednesday, I think. So you look at Mario Verruete. There is no limit of the dimensionality of spaces. You can have you can work in 3, 4, 5, 6 dimensions. There is no limit. You know, it's a realization, if you want, to what Wolfram calls multiverse. But in the what's it called here you have all the possible inferences you can do, inject, interject, inject from left to right with the ideas which are possible in this universe. Okay, you have the gradient, divergence, rotational. So it's quite complete. Okay, and so we look at super. If you are in contact with Mario, you can explain everything. It's very open-minded man. I think you should find a solution to test it. Okay. So, So the essential component for pattern star, all the components are essential. If you miss a point in the code, it doesn't work anymore. But let's say it's a 50 years old, 50 years of development, and also if you are interested, you should look at bond graphs also. Bond graphs, it's a book I wrote with entire screen. This one, share. You should read this book, Gallery. I think it was in 2006, something like that. It was in Technical Science, 2006. Voilà. You should read this book. Because in this book, we explain what is really energy and entropy, because a lot of people don't really understand what is entropy. There are a lot of confusions. And so this Jean Thomas was a fantastic guy, physicist, who did his thesis with Wolfgang Pauli. At the time he was in Zurich in Switzerland. So he had very good ideas of what are rotations and translations in space, which you can do in 3 dimensions with quaternions, but they don't work in 4 dimensions or 5 dimensions. Instead, with Systar, you can work in any dimension. Thank you for listening.